Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the success story session. So today we have with us Mr. Supratik who has cleared the RBI Grade B examination. So today he will share with us his strategy and his journey of clearing the examination. Let me inform you that he was a working aspirant and he was working as the assistant audit officer. And he started his preparation for the RBI Grade B examination after the official notification was out. So today he will inform us about his detailed strategy of clearing this examination in the limited time and with a full-time job. So first of all, heartiest congratulations to you, Supratik.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. And how is the feeling? How is the feeling in your family also?
The feeling was really very good, and everyone was happy, and it was surreal feeling, truly.
Okay. Now, can you share with us about your educational background as well as your job experience that you have?
Uh, I have graduated in 2017 from Indian Institute of Engineering Science and Technology, Shibpur, and I got job in Larsen and Toubro Construction through campus placement. I have continued in that job for 2 years till 2019, and in 2019 I have qualified IBPS PO and joined Allahabad Bank as probationary officer. Later, it got merged into Indian Bank, and after working for 5 years there, I have qualified SSC CGL in 2022 and joined Indian Audit and Accounts Department as Assistant Audit Officer in February 2024. And I'm continuing that job till now. So that is my
Okay.
background basically.
Really nice. And how did you get, where did you get the motivation to start preparing for the RBI Grade B examination when you already are the assistant audited officer, which is a very reputed position?
Actually, I have prepared for UPSC along with my job continuously. And in 2025, my wife got a job in IIT Bombay as assistant professor. So I thought of switching jobs so that I can get posted to Bombay. And that's why RBI is a natural choice for me, being an ex-banker.
Okay. Now the question comes that how did you manage? Like you were working as well as you also were preparing and you have a married life also. So how were you managing so many of the things together?
I have planned very well. I have planned strategically so that I have to invest less hours compared to others because there was always a time constraint for me. So I used to devote 5 to 6 hours daily to my preparation and 2 hours in the morning prior to going to office and 4 to 5 hours in the evening after coming from office. So that was my usual schedule, you can say.
Okay. And was your working life a little hectic or did you get like time easily? So was your job more hectic? Like how were you able to take out so many of the hours?
Uh, it was a bit hectic because I have to travel a bit to the remotest part of the state, Tripura, because I am posted in Tripura recently. So it was a bit hectic, but I have planned accordingly. So it was manageable to some extent.
Okay. For the students that are seeing the session and they are also the working aspirants, can you walk us through your normal day? That how much time were you investing for your studies? How much time you were investing in your job? So from the morning till the night, if you can walk us through your normal day.
Yes, actually, 6:30 is my usually wake up time, and after that, I used to study for 2 hours from 7 to 9 in the morning, and my office hours was from 9:30 to 6. So from 9:30 to 6 I have to attend the office, and one plus point for me was my quarter is just beside my office in the adjacent complex only. So travel I used to save a lot of travel time because of that. So it was a plus point for me, and after coming from office I used to take a 30 to 1 hour break, and in that break I used to practice 2 to 3 descriptive questions, so that I can get a sense of fulfillment in me that I have completed my descriptive writing quota for the day. And after completing that for half an hour or 1 hour some days, then I would start reading for another 2 to 2.5 hours, and after having dinner I used to revise the whole day's work, that is for 1 hour or so. That is my usual daily routine.
Okay. So we can say that you were continuously, like since morning 7 a.m. till the night, you were continuously doing something or another, your job or your preparation. So you were managing like 2 hours in the morning and 2 to 3 hours in the night. And this is
Yes.
how many of the students can like manage the work and their preparation. Okay. Now let's go to the next question that if you were able to manage, you started preparing after the notification was out. So were you not afraid that I have to compete with so many of the students that are preparing from months, as well as I have to prepare like I have to compete with the students that have done BCom. They have a very strong finance management background. So were you not afraid when you started after the notification?
Uh, for me, it was not a cause of worry, because I am already in a profession where finance and accounting plays a major role. So, and prior to that, I have worked in a commercial bank. So, finance
Mhm.
and all those parts are a bit familiar to me. So, it was not a cause of worry to me. But at the same time, time constraint is a major issue which I have managed through my through various Excel sheets and proper strategizing the things, I would say. So by that way I have managed this part.
Okay. And you were continuously preparing since 2018. Like you gave IBPS PO in 2019. You were preparing for UPSC. You were preparing for the SSC CGL and then RBI Grade B. So, like, how did this motivation continue? Did you not ever felt that I should also go out and enjoy? Why am I studying with my full-time job? And that is a very good job. So, what kept you going?
Actually, I have not studied isolatedly throughout these years. I have done every possible activity what I can do. Means attending various ceremonies, family ceremonies, watching movies, watching web series, and all those stuffs. So for me, studying is also a part of life, because I have to study till my last breath, I think, in that manner. So I am not isolatedly. I have not studied as such, so it was enjoyable for me also. So I think if anybody can enjoy studying along with all other activities, so it can be continued and can be
Okay.
managed well.
And nicely said. And can we, like, did you not ever felt guilty when you were watching a series? Let's say you have invested 2 or 3 days for a series or going to a ceremony and such. So you never felt guilty that I could have invested the same time in my studies and maybe I could have done better in the exam.
For me, regret is not the kind of thing I used to pursue, because I think that focus is the ultimate thing which is very much required in anything or any activity, whatever you are doing. So I tried to focus fully whatever I am doing, whether I am watching web series or I am studying something. I used to put my complete focus on that, so that I don't regret later that I have not done this thing properly. So that was my simple strategy, you could say, that whatever I am doing right now, I have to do it with full focus. So that's why I never felt those guilt trips and all that.
Again, nicely said. Like, I can see the clarity of thought in your mind and in your answers. So now, can you tell me any two major challenges that you faced in the preparation for the RBI Grade B examination?
For me, the time management part is a challenging thing. So I have focused fully on managing that aspect. So I have prepared an Excel sheet where I have counted the examination day as 0th day, and calculated the number of days left in a reverse manner, so that I can plan accordingly that how many hours I have at my disposal to study. And by doing this exercise, I have minimized my sources and completely arranged my preparation strategically, so that I can study things, I can revise things, and I can attempt mock at the same time through a continuous process. So by making that Excel, it helped me a lot in to manage my preparation and manage the time constraint part of it. And the second aspect which I felt, that the difficulty level, or rather the factual questions which are being asked in the examination. For me, remembering fact is not a challenging task, but the number of questions usually RBI asks from the factual perspective, it was very much required that I keep revising the things in a regular interval, so that I can recall the facts and figures when required. So for that, I have practiced a 13721 rule, so that I can revise a document 4 times at least prior to attempting questions, so that I can recall. So by applying these two strategies, I have managed my, according to me, the two challenging themes of this preparation I have managed.
Nicely said. Okay, now moving forward, who is the backbone of your preparation journey, if you can name?
Obviously, my parents supported me a lot, and my wife also plays a crucial part by checking my answer sheets and all those things. And apart from that, my friends and colleagues and everyone in my office, everyone is very helpful and motivated me to prepare for this examination. Actually.
Okay. Now let's start with the strategy part. We have discussed your journey, and I hope many of the students that are working, they get some idea that how they can manage their preparation while their job also. Now let's start with the strategy part. So starting with the phase one, starting with QRE. So how were you able to manage the quant reasoning English? What did you do
Uh,
for that?
for me, I have already studied the quant reasoning English part in detail for the prior exams which I have attempted, like IBPS PO and SSC CGL. So I have attempted mocks for those part actually, and in the mocks I used to focus a lot on the questions which I have to leave, whether I am
Mm.
attempting the questions which I have to leave in the actual exam, so that I can manage my time well. Because for me, 100% attempt was not my goal. So my goal is to get a decent marks, a balanced marks in all the sections, so that I can get through the prelims. And I have attempted around 30 to 33 mock tests prior to appearing in phase one, so that I can make myself well acquainted with this art of living questions. So according to me, this art of living is very important for QRE part especially, because if you stuck in one question and devote most of your time, then it will be a mess in the actual exam, and it will be very difficult to come back from such a situation. So though it happened to me also in my mocks, but I made sure that it doesn't happen in the phase one, actual phase one examination.
Correct. So yes, the mock test are for your analysis, that where you are making the mistakes and how like you have to focus on that what questions in the mocks you have to leave, so that in the exam you can analyze and you can see that okay, this question I should not be attempting. So correctly said that if you are giving the mocks, it is not just to test that okay how many answers you are giving correctly, it is also to analyze that which questions you have to leave in the examination to save your time and to not waste the time. Now coming to the second question, coming to GA now directly, you majorly gave mock test for the quant reasoning English. Now coming to the GA, first of all, how many months of the GA did you do? How many months of the reports, schemes, RBI notifications did you do before the phase one?
For all the GA part, means
Hmm.
reports, schemes, notifications, PIB, and all those stuff. I have completed 4 revisions till the month of
Hmm.
April 2025 in backwards manner. And for RBI notification and reports specifically, I have completed till the month of January 2025. And those are basically 2 revisions, I would say.
Hmm.
So through that,
So
I have prepared.
6 to 9 months.
Yeah, six. I think 6 to 9 months is a good approach.
But how were you able to, like, in 1 month, how were you able to do so many of the documents and that too, like, 6 months at least? So, how were you able to read through these documents and how many times, like, how were you able to revise so much? So, can
Uh,
you inform?
yes, my revising strategy, I was very particular about that. So I have made a strategy of 13721. I have heard it somewhere. So from the on the first day, I have gone through the actual GA document, and I don't try to retain things on in that particular reading. So in the first day itself, I have gone through the document once and left it, and then on the third day, I revise it once again, the original document, and from that document, I used to write the keywords on a separate page by looking at the key, so that by looking at the keywords, I can recall the actual document. And after that, on the seventh day, I again go through the keywords wala document of mine, so that I can recall the actual document. But in that case, there were several themes which I used to forget from the actual document. So I used to revise it once again from the actual document itself on the seventh day. And in the 21st day, I used to go through the keywords on a document again. And after that, I used to attempt whatever free questions are available in the net. So by that way, I have managed to cover 4 times the current affairs part in within 1 month, basically.
Okay, nice. How were you able to remember so many of the facts? Because there are so many of the documents, so many of the facts, and you were doing 6 months of the current affairs.
I used to highlight the facts which have been asked in the exam previously. Suppose some schemes are there, and usually budget outlays of various schemes are usually asked in the exam. So, in that way, I used to highlight the data points which, according to me, RBI can ask. So I highlight only those data points and keep revising it. So through that way only, it was able I was able to recall the data which whatever is asked in the exam.
Okay, so this is also a good strategy that you know in the phase one, you have to remember the facts. So directly you can mark the facts or you can focus on the facts for the phase one. Now, let's go to the phase two. Like anything that you want to add for the phase one before going forward with the phase two strategy?
No, but I think attempting mocks is very important for phase one. By that way, you can manage your time in the actual exam as well.
Okay. Now coming to the phase two, let's understand from you your phase one, phase two, finance and management strategy. So how were you able to prepare the finance and the management? There are different, like management must be completely new for you. So how were you preparing for that?
One of my colleague come friend have has enrolled into this EduTap course, gold course, if I'm not wrong. So I have gathered the document, the summary sheets of various topics from him only, and I have stick to I was stick to it that I have to revise those summary sheets multiple times, and by doing so and attempting descriptive questions based on previous year questions, I have prepared the management part. And apart from that, from for ESI and finance, I have gone through several other coaching institutes material also. And then my major focus was on answer writing. So from the beginning itself, I have started writing 2 to 3 answers daily, so that I got a habit of writing answers. So it
Okay.
helped me.
And were you making your own notes?
For me, I do not have that much amount of time to make notes, but my Excel sheets are so that much elaborate that it used to help me to write keywords and all those things, so that I can revise it at regular intervals.
Okay. And for management, it is very theoretical. So how were you able to remember so many of the theories in such a short period of time?
I used to make a flow chart diagram after reading a particular topic for management, and I keep revising that document only several times, so that I don't miss out any theories or topics as such. And whenever I feel that I can't recall a theory on that particular flow chart, then I used to refer to the original document and get it revised.
Okay. Now coming to the ESI static and the ESI current affairs. So how did you prepare for the ESI part, which is considered one of the most difficult or the most difficult one for phase two?
For as I was preparing for UPSC also, and I have appeared for UPSC Mains 2025. So for me, ESI was not that much challenging, I would say. But I have gathered some data points and some facts and figures, so that I can code those according to the demand of the questions. And after preparing those data points, I completely focused on writing answers, so that because ultimately whatever you write, that will be evaluated only. So writing, I've completely focused on writing answers for the ESI part. And along with writing, I used to attempt objective ESI questions also, so that I can score good in the objective part also.
Okay. And for the current affairs, did you had any separate strategy from your phase one or you just revised for the phase two current affairs, ESI current affairs?
I have just revised because as I have felt after going through the previous year questions that the themes are recurring in nature, though the types of questions and these can be changed, but the themes are recurring in nature. So I have prepared according to the theme, and then I used to modify it and make it contextualized according to the need of the question. So by that way, I have prepared ESIM.
Okay. Now coming to the English descriptive. So did you practice for the English descriptive or you were practicing the answer writing so you thought that there is no separate need to practice for the English descriptive?
No, but I have practiced English descriptive as well, because as I have told that I have kept a window of 2 weeks prior to phase two. In those 2 weeks, I have completely focused on mock test, of full length mock test according to the exam pattern. Means I used to attempt a 2 hours paper prior going to office in the morning session itself, and after coming to office, taking a break of 1.5 hours, I used to write 3.5 hours of other two papers. By that way, I have attempted around 12 to 14 complete mock papers, so that my body and everything gets aligned with the demand of the phase 2 examination, and it helped me a lot in the phase 2 examination, because during phase 2 it was very easy for me, because I have attempted mocks for last 14 days, so it was very natural for me in the exam day. So that helped me.
Were there any technical challenges in the phase two in the examination center?
Nothing as such, but my keyboard was a bit hard. That is the only thing. But
Okay. Now let's start with the interview strategy. And how did you prepare for the interview? Did you give any mock interviews?
yes, yes, I have enrolled for mock interview from EduTap and Anujidan Institute, both online mode. And for interview, I have prepared some gist of the reports which have been published by CAG, as I am working in CAG. So the major points of several reports which have been published in the last half year. And apart from that, various RBI reports, RBI websites that I have prepared.
Okay. And how was the final interview?
It was a very nice experience for me, because I have as I have working for so long, so 9 years of work experience I have. So I have prepared various kind of HR questions prior to attempting interview, because I thought it will appear, but it will be asked by the panel. But to my surprise, they never haven't asked any HR questions to me. So basically, my questions was in and around my work experience only. So first they started with the nitty-gritties of CAG and RBI, CAG and RBI. They asked me the differences between these two organizations, why CAG doesn't audit RBI, that kind of questions. And after that, functions of RBI, basically they have asked. And from recent budget, they have asked that we have shifted our focus from fiscal deposit to deficit to debt to GDP ratio in the last budget.
Mm.
So what are the implications of it? What do you think, how international credit rating agencies will rate India based on this decision? So that kind of questions they have asked. And apart from that, they have asked business of my last branch, which I have served during my banking days. So from there, they have asked 2 3 follow-up questions, like how was the portfolio of my branch, and these kind of questions. And apart from that, some technical questions like why RBI manages NEFT and RTGS till now. That kind of
Mm.
questions they have asked. So overall, it was a nice interview. But at the end of my interview, the chairman has said that we are expecting more concrete answers from an experienced banker like you. So after hearing that sentence from chairman sir, I was a bit demotivated, that I couldn't be able to, I can't figure out that what went wrong. But later on, after publish of the result, it was all good.
Okay. So now we are towards the end of the session. Any questions that you can inform that were core from finance or economics, if it were asked from you?
Yes, mostly the questions are from finance and economics only. They asked me the channels through which monetary policy gets transmitted, and they asked me to elaborate on those. And apart from that, They asked me regarding the CTS implementation of recently continuous check transmission system, means the T plus zero to settlement cycle of checks. And they asked me
Mm.
regarding uh, payment and settlement systems, various questions from that. Mostly around these pillars, my interview questions were.
Okay, nice. So now coming to the end of the session, any message that you want to give to the students that are preparing for the RBI Grade B?
According to me, self belief is the most important thing, because you have to understand that you can do it. Because whoever is going getting selected is just having the same capabilities whatever you have. So you have to keep belief in yourself. And apart from that, I think consistency must be there, because some lows and highs are a natural part of this process. So you have to keep preparing, whatever may the outcome be. Don't bother about that, just keep preparing. And apart from that, nowadays lots of information are available throughout the internet. And due to this having this lot of information, it used to clutter our thoughts. So according to me, aspirants need to have a clarity of thought, that what they want to do, how they are going to do it, and based on all those aspects. So I think by having a clarity of thought and having belief in yourself can get you through this exam.
Okay. From your wonderful message, I have a question now. That usually the students they believe that if they are going through one source, they should verify the details from the other source also. So, is it the correct strategy that going through the multiple sources so that they can verify the information, or do you think that you have to stick to the one source that you believe in?
According to me, prior selecting the source itself, you should do all these things, that verify the data, whether the source is correct or not. So whatever you have covered, if anything appears from it, then you have to answer correctly. That was my simple strategy. And I used to think in that manner, that whatever I am reading, somebody else will also read the same thing. Whatever I am able to extract from it, that is the main focus point of me. So I think sticking to a single source is very important for this exam.
Okay. Now, one last question that I have in mind, that how EduTap has helped you in your preparation journey.
EduTap has helped me a lot, because, as I have told, one of my colleague, Animus Bose, has purchased a course of EduTap, and I have used his course extensively. And it was very helpful for my preparation, because I have attempted phase 2 mocks in this EduTap course also. So it was very helpful for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Supratik, for attending this session and giving your wonderful strategy to all the aspirants that are preparing for the examination now. So, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.